All right, we're live. Good evening, everybody. It's me, Ryan from Mista Rau Gaming, and we've got a special, like they were saying in the chat here, a very special Sunday night stream, which is very fantastic because I don't do this very often, and I've got special guests. The band is back together, man, and
it's been a while.
It's been a very long time.
How many months? 6?
What? That long?
Has it been that long? Has it been half a year? Oh my gosh.
It can't be.
I don't remember. It was like it's been close to that. The last thing we did was probably this summer.
Wow.
It had to have been. So people that are brand new to my channel or have been interacting with me only recently probably don't know this, but there was a little show that we had started way back on Jayson, Dyson Dragon's YouTube channel, which was called, I believe we initially called it Kickstarter, Excess or Value. And the inaugural episode was right around that time of, what was it, Marvel United, I think.
Yes, that was the one that really got our attention because it just kind of blew up. It was like $1,000 kid game, essentially.
Right. And so it kind of blew up into this thing where we had invited other people to be gum guests, but we were the ones that kind of like stuck together for the most part over it. And we just kind of got into these really goofy conversations about, talking about crowdfunding, Kickstarter mostly, but then GameFound came out and now there's Backer Kit and stuff like that. And we're just talking about games that feel like they're just too expensive, or maybe they just hit the sweet spot, or maybe it's like, wow, this is great value in the side of these. And so we like to,
or they fool you like Mythic Game stuff where like we get Anasphere that has like perfect value and then they're like, I don't know if it's ever going to come out.
Yeah.
Right. We did do, right. It was that episode when we had all our, we got like a big bitch session out of the way type thing.
Well, we did. And then everyone's like, this looks great. The value is great. And now they're like, we don't know if we're making this game. It's like, what? So.
Yep, yeah. Absolutely. So that's a little bit of history about us. So we're going to revitalize. And I think we were just talking off camera here that it's just kind of like, we're all busy. We're all super busy. I kind of got the ball rolling again this time around, but maybe it'll be Robb Anna-Marie next time, or maybe it'll be Jayson next time. So this show will bounce around formats. It'll maybe just a podcast next time on Robb Anna-Marie's podcast, which I'm going to get everybody to have a chance to promote their stuff. Actually, we should actually do that part right now. Is my guests should actually introduce themselves so that everybody in the chat can get to know them. Take it away.
Okay, hey, it's Robb
Anna-Marie
from the Meeple Dungeon. We're out here in Kelowna, BC. You can find us on the X app and YouTube and
at Meeple Dungeon.
At Meeple Dungeon, yeah. And we do our podcast on all the major podcasting sites. We just dropped our first episode in a few weeks today, and it's all about this game right here behind me, Last Light. So yeah, you can check that out.
All right, and I'm Jayson, and I'm from Dyson Dragons. I'm one half of Dyson Dragons. I do this usually with my better half, Julie, who doesn't do this stuff because she doesn't know how much games cost. She just looks at it and says, buy it now. Don't tell me anything about it. But we usually do our reviews, and we were doing videos weekly. We're probably in that like 2 to 3 months since we've done our last video, just been very busy. We've got a 3.5-year-old. He takes up a lot more time than he used to. So the plan kind of is to finish up a couple review copies, take us through to the end of the year, and then we're going to be seeing what we're going to be doing going forward. But the goal is to try to get back to some type of bi-weekly content in the near future, but more in 2024. You might see a whole slew of things that just drop all at once as we kind of do our catch up for the holidays.
Awesome. Yes, because they're all not insane, crazy people like me as of recently where I'm
putting. And we're YouTube, by the way. I forgot. We're on YouTube. Not a podcast. We're on YouTube.
And I have links in the description of this video to my guests. Very fabulous content. Definitely go check them out. They're not crazy like me where I'm producing multiple videos a week, a live stream every week, and just random stuff like even like this. Like today I had 2 videos dropped today. I didn't actually realize that I had done that. So I had 2 videos dropped today plus this stream. So I'm trying to advertise everything. I'm like, whatever, people will watch it if they want to watch it. If they don't, they don't, but whatever.
Yep.
type thing. I am on the road to 500 subscribers. I'm currently, right before this video, I am at 463 or 464. I can't remember if there was one that got in right beforehand, but man, oh man, thank you everybody for all your generous support. And I have to give the shout out to my regular community that's here. We got Vincent's in the chat here. He's saying, a Sunday stream, oh yeah. And Snazoo saying, it's a good day. And then Tyler, of course, Tyler is all here saying, hey, all. And they are all saying good evening to all of you, Robb, Anna-Marie, and Jayson.
What's
Thank
up?
you.
Well, hello to you.
And Vincent just called me. He is the mad scientist of this YouTube world, I guess.
No kidding.
So, all right. Well, I think we are going to shift on over. And of course, if you are just joining us, make sure that you're hitting a like on this video, subscribing to the channel and everybody else's content while we're at it. Make sure you go to those links in the description. And I think we should just pitter patter and let's get at her. I will shift on over my screen here for everybody else so that everybody can see what we are actually going to be talking about here. And both our projects we're going to be talking about tonight are both found on GameFound currently.
And I think we need a little bit of a disclaimer.
Oh, okay.
If you do love Food Chain Magnate, it's nothing about the game.
No.
Nope.
This is nothing.
No.
We try to take our emotions away from the games themselves, and we are going purely on the value that you're getting in each of these crowdfunding campaigns. And what really got things going was I had saw a post, and I think it was in the Board Game Revolution Facebook page, or it was one of the content creator pages on Facebook, pretty much putting these two projects side by side and said, which one would you rather have? type thing. And then I posed that question to our group. And everybody's just like, we need to do a video about this because that is insane.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think the first one, which one do we want to start off with?
Well, we always try to do the more reasonable approach.
I was going to say, let's go with Nemesis first.
Yeah.
That's the more reasonable one that Jayson was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's backing this one? Let's ask who's got a pledge in on this one already.
Bing, bing,
We
bing,
do.
bing, bing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I am not in on this one. I don't have the other Nemesis versions. Spoiler alert. I once had Nemesis and I had traded that away for a complete Imperial Assault collection, which I know,
Nice.
fantastically crazy, but it ended up
Who
being
would do that? Because that complete collection now has got to be worth like triple or quadruple what that Nemesis box is worth, especially if you get it on this pledge right now.
Oh, right? I think I can make my money back this time around. So I am going to click on Nemesis Retaliation here, which is currently, I got things set into Canadian dollars, which they are touting about 8.1 million Canadian dollar dues, almost 25,000 backers with 10 days left. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. And so Nemesis Retaliation. Who wants to take a quick overview of Nemesis and what this Retaliation is bringing to the table?
I can do that for you.
Okay.
What would you like? You'd like me to talk about this one, or
sure? Just like so, what is Nemesis, and then what is so special about this? New
hang on,
edition?
Rob. I gotta get this out, but you're definitely gonna do the description. So, if you're a fan of Alien and Aliens, this is Aliens, and don't worry, we're not Hudson here. It's not Game Over Man yet.
No.
Beautiful.
So true.
Take it away, Robbie.
So Nemesis Retaliation is the third game in the Nemesis trilogy, actually. There was a Nemesis Lockdown that came in between these, and that one was more similar to the original Nemesis, whereas this one kind of flips the script. This one, like Jayson says, is more along the lines of Aliens versus the Alien kind of game that the first Nemesis was, where you're stuck on a ship and you're a ragtag group of nobodies just trying to survive a horrific experience, where Nemesis Retaliation is you are one of the survivors of the original Nemesis, and you joining forces with a whole bunch of high skilled
Marines.
armored Marines that are going in to kick some butt on this planet or wherever that the aliens come from.
But shocker, all of your stuff goes haywire and doesn't work
Yeah,
when you get down there.
Apparently, once you get there, you find out that your schematics are wrong and that your gear doesn't work properly, and you go underground and you find yourself in a labyrinth of horror, where all these aliens, not unlike xenomorphs, are kind of hanging out down underneath here, and you find out that you've bitten off a lot more than you can chew, and there are different aliens evolutions that are going on down there, and it sounds like maybe mixtures of different DNAs and things going on, and you find yourself in a pickle of a situation, and you have to, and not only that, but they've introduced oxygen into this game where you're actually limited on oxygen, and you have to decide whether or not you want to do things depending on how much oxygen you have.
Do you collect resources, or you just run for it?
So there's a whole bunch of horrific things going on here, and you're trying to go down there originally, I think, trying to go down there to kill them all and wipe them all out, but then I think you're finding that you're struggling to survive and trying to escape with your life at the end of it. And yeah, it's all miniature based, and you're going in and you're opening doors and finding like a procedurally generated sort of, as you open doors, more corridors open up and so forth. And there also has the trader mechanic still prevalent here, where you're not sure if you can trust your whole team. And if you asked Anna-Marie to go lock that door over there and make sure that hatch is closed, she could say, I went and did that.
Did I not do it?
And then you hope that she did, and she might not have though, and then a whole bunch of aliens might come bursting through that door trying to kill you while she runs trying to do whatever she's trying to do.
I did that. Like, that's how you would lock and unlock one of those high-tech doors in the future. It's not what you would do.
I think that's generally the idea of what's going on here, is you're trying to come in here and exterminate these guys for what they did to you up on the ship, and now you're trying to take it to them in their home world, but I don't think it goes according to plan.
And one thing that is always great about these games is you do get the co-op and semi-co-op mode, so you don't have to play with the trader mechanic.
But you should.
Well, what I was going to say this is that the trader mechanic in at least the original and Lockdown can be fairly brutal. So it's not necessarily the best thing to play unless someone's okay with showing up for a 3-hour game night and going home in the first hour.
True. It depends on your crowd.
It is a great mechanic. It works well. Just everyone needs to be on the same page. And if everyone's not on the same page, you can still play it cooperatively.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% bang on. If that doesn't work for your crew or even one person in your game group, don't do it. But if everyone's on board that one of us might not be on the level, definitely.
And then if you're out in the first hour, you can just antagonize everybody.
Yep.
Then
or if you play it smartly, you won't be out in the first hour, and you're going to be down to the end. So
there are some brutal things that can happen, especially if someone locks you in the door with an alien early on.
Yes, absolutely, and that's what I live for in these games, is that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, not for everybody, obviously, but yeah, it's there if you want it.
Everything about Nemesis screams that this is a Ryan game. Like everything about this. So why I don't know why I actually don't. I don't know why I traded my copy. Oh no, I know why I trade mine away, because it was Star Wars, and I love Star Wars and everything.
And they gave you more than it was worth.
Yeah, it was worth it.
It was worth the trade. I couldn't. It would have been stupid of me not to take the trade, but I kind of linked back. But maybe tonight might change my mind. I don't know.
Right?
Now you have your opportunity.
You have an opportunity here, Ryan. An opportunity.
Click of a button, Ryan.
At the click of a button. Well, let's click
that
some
trigger
button.
finger.
And even better, you can do stretch pay and pay in installments.
You can.
Don't start, please. I've been talking. Like, that's my literally what I'm talking to my grade 12s about right now is credit and installment payments type.
But it's not credit because there's no interest. It's just installment payments.
It's just pure installments. Yep.
So why not, after all of that lovely, let's take a look at this Retaliation collector. Is it the collector's pledge?
Yeah, forget the core pledge. Like, for what we're talking about, let's talk the collector's pledge.
Yeah, we're trying to do
all the Retaliation stuff.
Yeah, so core pledge, if anybody was interested, $90 Canadian. That's getting you the stretch goals and the Retaliation box. If you wanted just the core pledge special edition with the stretch goals, it's 150 Canadian. But
and the difference there is minis versus standees.
Acrylic standees, I think. Yeah.
Minis versus standees. Pick your poison. But we're talking this Nemesis Retaliation Collector's Pledge. Is this what you folks are all junkying about right now?
That's what we got.
Right there. I've got everything else, so that's all I'm getting.
Cool. Okay, so for 262 Canadian dollar dues, you're going in on this Nemesis Retaliation Collector's Pledge, and here are all of the things that we are getting in this: the core box, the stretch goals, the terrain pack, the acrylic pack for Nemesis Retaliation, Untold Stories number 4. I'm assuming there was 1, 2, and 3 in previous campaigns.
So 1, 2, and 3 are comic books that are actually co-op campaigns for the original games.
That sounds really, really badass.
And when a character dies during your co-op campaign, you cannot bring them back. You have to change to a different character.
That sounds really interesting. The playmat, the art book, and high quality miniatures. High
Do we
quality.
even need to talk about Awakened Realms miniatures at this point? Unless someone in the chat is like, we need to discuss the quality of Awakened Realms. Can I just say, like, we're not worthy?
Yeah.
We're not worthy. We're waiting, guys.
Right? Because Awakened Realms miniatures have just been the standard of miniatures, I think, in these big box style of games for a while now. I'm all in Tainted Grail. That's one of my favorite games. And man, oh man, the things that you get inside of that. And IS's Vanguard. IS's Vanguard is
Unreal.
Unreal.
Look, I've got one of the miniatures.
I wouldn't know, Ryan.
7 right here, which I think is really good, but it's not Awakened Realms. And I think this is like starting on good quality miniatures. And Awakened Realms is so far beyond that, it's crazy.
Far, but yeah.
From day one.
So we're talking $262 for all of that stuff, which looks like they're touting is about a 30 Canadian dollar savings ish.
Yep.
Based on if you were just to piece all of these things together throughout the campaign.
Basically, you're getting a free playmat.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Neoprene is like gold for gamers. That's what it. Neoprene is gold for gamers. And I have to give a shout out right now. Norm from the Cardboard Conjecture podcast is currently in the chat here. Welcome,
Norm.
Hey, Norm.
Hey, Norm. Woo.
All
Long
right.
time.
So, is this the point where we talk value on this?
Well,
Or
I think we're better off doing it in comparison. Let's see what we got.
okay. So it said standard edition versus special edition, which we've already kind of seen that. Components for the both editions. Okay.
Here's the stretch goals.
Plus the stretch goal box with tons of extra free content, which is what people kind of clamor for these days. And then I think it's going to go through all of the stuff that's inside. We can just do a quick scroll through all of this.
Yeah, we're not doing a full breakdown of the game and whether you should back this game per se. One thing I do think we need to talk about is the packaging for Awakened Realms games, because they don't tout it here, but man, like everything fits so well together.
Yeah.
Everything is well thought out. Your inserts are great. They're high quality. Like you're getting luxury in a box.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're getting the retail edition. I love the fact that they're doing retail editions now, because I think a lot of people are sleeping on these great Kickstarter games. But man,
I just stopped onto this page because this is the difference between a standee and the miniature. So you can kind of take a look at what you can get in one version versus the other edition. And then I'll just keep going here because I don't know if they break anything else down at the very end of this. Nope, exploration. Kind of see how this one's got map tiles that are all snapping together rather than a board.
Yeah.
Which is actually really quite cool. Look at all that. Look at oh my gosh, I'm just getting FOMO just looking at all of the stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff. Look at that. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
The Queen. Look at this. Yeah. No, you don't want a standee of the Queen. You want the... You don't want that. Look at these things.
What was the game that had the dragon where there was this like you have to have the dragon? Like it just didn't make any sense.
Was that
Yeah.
was that Drunagor?
Drunagor. Yeah. I think so.
Oh my gosh.
That's huge. It was like a foot around. That thing was crazy.
It was not that expensive for
big?
how big that dragon was.
Yeah.
How big is this box gonna be? No, I get
Huge.
they're big boxes.
Yeah.
I like big boxes and I cannot lie. Oh my gosh. Oh no, that's the end, and that's the end of the scrolling. So you get
so good.
So you get all of that for the 262 Canadian dollar dues before shipping.
Yep.
Which
And then we need to look at the Nemesis trilogy pledge.
Oh, are we going to do that one right now?
Yeah, it's
Right
worth
here.
pointing out.
Yeah. Then they're offering the Nemesis trilogy with miniatures. 478 Canadian dollar dues.
Yep.
And you're getting Nemesis Retaliation and the stretch goals. You're getting Nemesis Lockdown, including stretch goals. And you're getting Nemesis Core Pledge, including Aftermath and Void Seers.
So just to be clear, Aftermath was the stretch goals of the original campaign.
There we go.
Yep.
Or part of it. So if you're getting both, you're pretty much getting everything.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I don't think is there is the Carnomorphs.
The Carnomorphs aren't any, but I believe you can get, I think that's an add-on.
As an add-on.
Yeah.
So anyways, for 478 Canadian dollars, these three things, I just did the quick math. That's about $160 each campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people need to log this number in their heads.
Yeah.
478 for all three games and all the stretch goals right here. And then
Keeping in
we'll
mind
talk about the
all
next
of
campaign.
the images we've just scrolled through with what those miniatures
This
look
number
like.
is very significant for what our discussion is going to be.
To put that into retail perspective, Descent Legends of the Dark for 2 boxes costs almost that much.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
About 160, 170 a game. So you're right in that retail sweet spot with higher quality miniatures. I must say the new Descent has some very, very good quality miniatures, but they're not nearly as thick and as resilient as what you're getting out of Awakened Realms.
That is absolutely 100% correct. Okay. 478. That's tremendous. That's tremendous.
Can you scroll down to show everyone just a little
well, this is the only thing that this actually has.
Okay.
So you would actually have to click on each of these separately to show you exactly what's inside.
Well, why don't we just go back to the original quickly? Nemesis Core Pledge with Void Seeders. Let's see like what you're getting. So yeah, you're getting the original game. This is really just the original game plus the second wave, which was Aftermath.
Man, that game's good.
Robbie's just salivating. He wants to play it right now.
And this is where the chat goes, how good is it?
Yeah.
Like,
Let me put it this way. Julie doesn't really like semi-cooperative games. She doesn't love horror games. This game cooperatively was like way up there for her. Like, and she actually really enjoyed the semi-co-op when we played with a lot of people. But we kind of set the house rule, no backstabbing until a certain point.
No.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because you want to get into the game. You don't want someone to basically walk into a room and get murdered by an alien unless they did that to you last game. Then talk about fair play. Like, in the fire, you're going to get burned.
True.
Every time you guys talk about these epic sessions, I just want to play it some more. I don't want to play it. I just want to play it.
You gotta get it, man.
Okay.
The only game that I've played that has epic sessions like this, where you get like your own story, has been Cthulhu Death May Die.
Yeah.
Both of those games have such cool emergent stories from the gameplay themselves.
Oh, my thing is just not. My internet is just not jumping to each of the sections, but that's okay because I think we are heading on into the next thing that we're comparing this to.
Yes, the egregious reason of this video.
Exactly.
Okay. Do I just have to refresh? Oh yeah, I just said okay. I just said the refresh. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back to GameFound here, and this other thing that's right beside Nemesis on the featured page is a highly regarded game in the board gaming community, and that is Food Chain Magnate. Oh, it's a fantastic game. As
Jason said, fantastic game.
It's very good.
Really fantastic game.
And people have been clamoring. People were clamoring for, you know what? We just want to be able to get this game because it's so hard to find lately because it's a splatter spiel gameplay, and lots of the games are very low print runs, high cost because they don't have very many in stock across various gaming platforms. And then they said they were partnering up with Lucky Duck Games to bring out a special edition of Food Chain Magnate, and people were like, oh yes, we'll definitely get in on that. And then okay, so they're clamoring to about 1.4 Canadian million dollars, only about 4,000 backers. They have
compared
3 days left.
24,000 backers on the last one with 10 days left. Like,
wild.
You'll see why.
Oh, there it is right
there.
There
it is.
There it is right there on the thing. So let's go with the I'm going to go click over to the rewards here. And so this is the big thing that we were talking about, is this huge collector's pledge of Food Chain Magnate, 450 Canadian dollars. 450 Canadian dollars
for one game.
478. That was the number we had to remember.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. For one game. Oh, don't worry. They're slashing prices from 308 euros to 399.
€9 off, guys.
Okay, if I can't afford the $10 difference, like GTFO, like I'm not on GameFound. Like that's like
it's insulting.
Okay, like,
that is insulting.
Julie does marketing for a living. She'd be like, whoever did that slash price should be fired. What is this freaking Black Friday at Target? Like, come on.
So true.
No.
I am not a marketing specialist, and I know that is not working at all.
I looked twice. I did a double take when I first saw that. I was like, what? Excuse me?
I thought it was a typo too. I thought it maybe should have said like 408.
I was like, is that 388?
380 or something?
And everyone in the chat, I thought about something. Don't let us forget. Castles of Burgundy Special Edition by Awaken Realms. That's another nice point of reference.
Yep.
And I just Vincent chimed in here too. He said my full Seventh Continent collection was $1 shy of $400, and it is mostly just cards, no big ass miniatures. So that's another thing I remember Seventh Continent coming out, and that was that just big box of cards. That's all it was cards.
Yeah. True, but one thing with Seventh Continent is the custom cards, the artwork on said cards. There's a ton of art on the cards, and that weird size is going to make the cost go way up. Weird size and weird boxes. There's a reason why most board game boxes are about the same size.
The amount of content you get with those cards, though, like Seventh Continent is not just a bunch of cards. Like that's an adventure.
It's
hundreds of hours of stuff there.
I really like the game. It's the only reason why it's no longer in our collection is because I realized there's a couple of things that I didn't love, and there's just so many other games to play. And I like minis more than cards. So
fair enough.
So back to Food Chain Magnate. For the $450, we are getting Food Chain Magnate, the special edition, and its expansion, the Catch-Up Mechanism and Other Ideas expansion special edition. Now, what makes
which are both available for a lot less than this? I think it's like $150 for both.
I think we're gonna get there. Yeah. So this special edition, what makes the special edition so special? Well, they decided to put miniatures into this game, which is quite special when you think about it. Miniatures are special, but look at these miniatures compared to the ones that we just imprinted into our brains not too long ago.
All they've done with this game is update the art and put those little plastic houses in.
They have done more than that. I am not justifying this price. Do not get me wrong. they've made that like an organizer tray that stores with the cards up, because it
Which
takes
should have been in it from the beginning.
100%
They forced you to
agree with
lay
you.
all the cards out on the table and like you had to have like a 4x4 table set up beside your table just to lay the cards on there for you to sort through which ones you
and it
wanted.
took a long time to get set up to get that started.
Ugh.
But
people, there's like 100 print out versions of those trays now, like you can just get for your 3D printer, and boom, you've got this thing.
And it makes it good. I'm just saying, they've got that in there. They've got different, everything seems to be like you can store it in the box.
Well, yeah, I would hope, yeah.
Well, not okay. Yeah. Set up. I mean, get out of here. Like,
no, but they gotta make it this way.
Like, I know, but like stored and set up. I'm just telling you that there's a little bit more in it, and I'm not justifying the price.
You're trying to.
I'm not. I am not.
And they can't let them get away with this.
Well, if this needs to be legitimate journalism, which everybody, we are not legitimate journalists. I'm just touting that one. We should be saying all sides of the thing, and Anna-Marie always has done that for us, is try to bring in the voice of reason rather than the voice of passion.
Yes.
Unless you're talking about Earthbound Rangers, then it's like, then the passion comes out. But
so yes, so we're just skill growing. It's just all of these miniatures, the double-sided full color wooden food tokens, the Monopoly paper tray.
They just added a bunch of trays.
I don't know.
And then the black magic insert system. I guess that's a thing.
Yeah, I think it's still figuring that one out.
Is that like a name brand?
I think that's probably some sort of brand that's trying to get into the game of inserts.
Okay.
I'm going to assume.
Their money is now like a material, feels like fabric. It's tear resistant.
Weird.
So that's a different thing they've done in there too. Polyethylene. There you go.
But the big thing too is that they double layered all of their tiles. Like, even I'm going to scroll back up here to the board tiles. They say they dual layered the map tiles and made them larger. Why do these tiles need to be dual layered? Is that just so that the miniatures don't go flying all over the place? Which, by all means, you are not moving these miniatures around. Once they're on the board, they're on the board.
Yes.
So I'm just looking around here because I was curious. You can buy upgrade kits on Etsy for like $100.
Mm-hmm.
So for like $150, you can get an upgrade kit for your regular food chain magnet. So that's still like, that is a lot. I don't know why they're $100. That definitely seems overpriced for an upgrade kit, considering what you're getting. It's only 55 pieces. There are other ones that are cheaper, but it does seem to me like this pricing may be based on what people were selling some of the stuff for on Etsy.
Which, like, if you want to remain competitive with market equivalents and try to tout that your product is better, which I don't even know. I'm not looking at Etsy right now because I'm running this stream show. But what would you compare just kind of like the aesthetic, the look of those Etsy things compared to what you're seeing on this campaign?
Well, when it comes to at least like the houses, they're almost identical.
Wow.
Holy, really?
Like they're almost identical in terms of the aesthetic, but it definitely seems to be like a lot more detail.
Okay. So that's everything.
But you're still looking at a game that's going to be $120-130 Canadian plus $150 worth of upgrades. So you're looking at about let's say about $300.
If you get it all from Etsy, yeah. So
total. And I know Lucky Duck has been very active in their community comments section because people are trying to are ripping this pricing too, and they're just and one of the common things that I kept saying is that this is what it costs to create. If you want this super special deluxe edition that's going to be only available on GameFound for another 3 days, this is what it's going to cost you, and we're not making a ton of money off of this type thing. That's the story they're trying to sell to the consumer.
I'm not buying it.
Well, I buy part of it because there is no economies of scale. They're not printing as much as Awaken Realms.
Exactly.
That is a huge aspect of it. It's going to increase the price. Food Chain Magnate, as great of a game as it's been touted to be, I've never played it. I don't have the time to play this game. Everyone's
It's
told me
great.
it's fantastic, but it is a niche game that has a niche market, and it's going to cost more because they're only going to be printing 4,000 copies, maybe 5,000 copies at most, to take some to conventions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so
I think.
oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to compare. So then you could just buy these things. You could just buy it just the base only game for $240 Canadian. Like you
So
don't
you're
have
buying.
to have the
No.
expansion.
See, this is ridiculous to me. Base
That's
only
crazy.
game is $240. That's the original game, plus just with new artwork,
and
a couple
miniatures.
bucks
right?
a thousand.
And okay, so a couple miniatures, but like the main game is what, like $125
Mhm.
to buy the game in general, and
$130.
If you can find it, if you
Okay.
can find it.
well, and see, so yeah, I saw this game when it first came out, not knowing what type of game it was. I was really drawn to the artwork, and I'm like, this looks amazing. And I didn't know at that point, because it was a more expensive game than I was used to. I didn't buy it because I was gonna tell Robbie about it. Like, oh, it's really expensive, and then and so I didn't get it. And then I went back to get it probably the week later. It was gone, and then I couldn't find it for years. So we finally just within the last like month or two,
Yep.
I finally found it. It was on sale, and I got it for under $100, and I was so excited because we finally got it. Then I saw this that they're bringing out another one, and I was like, oh, come on, I just finally got it. But I like the older artwork better than this.
Yeah, I do too.
I think the old artwork is cool. And I don't think not that these would be cool having little houses, but it's
There's
not
just
necessary.
no way it's worth it.
And it's not worth that much. And I like, okay, so right here, don't forget that this edition won't be coming to stores and is available in English only, but we're able to ship the special edition around the world. That is just such and I know it's not a scare tactic because they do only do small print runs all the time, but that
is there a
bugs me.
retailer pledge for this?
No, it's not
No,
going to retail.
It's not
They
going to
have
retail.
said-
This.
Yeah.
I'm going to raise my hand and add
The one thing I
something.
just want to
Sorry.
say, go ahead, is that, but Food Chain Magnate did not sell well. As much of a popular game as it was, it did not sell as well as people would have liked. It might have been out of stock, but that was the print run.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, that's because of
exactly.
the Splotter
Yes.
company themselves. They do these very short, small print runs because they are not. They're not. I just went over to Splotter's website, and you can currently pre-order Food Chain Magnate, just Food Chain Magnate in all its original glory and aesthetic, €75
Right.
for pre-order.
Yeah.
That's a 110 Canadian currently. If you want to just pre-order off of Splotter's website.
Plus
So-
a little bit of shipping.
401
you know,
games is 130. 130 Canadian.
Yeah,
Pre-order.
and Vincent
listed here.
here's chiming in and says regular edition is available at my local game store right now, 157 Canadian.
It was available here in Kelowna for, I think it was 120 something, and we got it on sale and we got it for under 100.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't move as much as people would like.
No.
As much as it's a great game, it is a long game. Like, it is a game that you like.
Food Chain Magnate currently at Amazing Stories,
I don't know.
135 Canadian here in Saskatoon.
So
But
you
there's
I
no
don't know
way
if I'd
this
ever
is
be able to finish a
$250 game.
A Food Chain Magnate.
I like, for if you have the original game at 135, how can they justify that much of a price jump? It's crazy.
You can't. And to me, you can't. $240 plus shipping.
But that's also what Jayson said. There's no reference point for this because this is a niche game in a niche
Here's
hobby.
a reference point for you, though. It's
I'll give
it's a
you
good
reference
game.
point.
Yeah, but it's a good game. But I'm telling you right now, there's not a chance in the world that it's worth that money. Like, it's a fine game, but it's not a $250 game.
You also want to get the catch-up expansion.
Yeah,
you
it's
wanna-
just
you're
not.
right, like-
That's the way it is. And then
But the catch-up
$400
expansion is like 130 by itself. So the game goes up to 260.
But the expansion on its own isn't like that, right? Like the
yeah,
original.
it's 100 and something.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
the game is very expensive for
Yeah.
what it is.
And that's every Splotter game that has ever been created.
It is. So I know that it's the Splotter. So why did they join? Because I'm ignorant in this part. Why did they join with Lucky Duck? Should that not have brought it down?
So
in price?
that was
Not up?
everybody's original assumption, was that Lucky Duck Games has this really good reputation of being able to take games and bringing them to a wider audience. They have the distribution network that they were able to do. That's why so many games use Lucky Duck Games to get more exposure in, say, Europe and stuff like that, because they have the distribution networks. So everybody was thinking, okay, they're partnering with Lucky Duck Games. That means it's going to get out to a wider audience, and they will be able to like use their production knowledge and be able to bring down the costs. That's what everybody was hoping and assuming was going to happen. And then the campaign launched, and it didn't.
Did they explain? So then why did they join with them? Do we know?
I have no idea. I think it's just their I think it's probably just their reputation and being
But
able
Splotter
to.
has
So
its
what's
own
really
reputation.
interesting, and I was sorry, Anna-Marie,
No,
is
that's okay.
you've got Spin Masters, who makes a lot of games, Canadian company, makes family-friendly games, partnered with CMON. And what do you know? They partnered with CMON to make Marvel Zombies, and what do? You get this nice small box version of the game that you can play for like $35, $40. Plus, you've got the big expensive version that you can get all sorts of cool stuff, and the giant Galactus whose foot you can see, over there.
Up there. Oh,
And
wait,
then
I
with
zoomed in my
Splotter,
camera.
they're partnering with Lucky Duck, and you don't even get this. And the crazy thing, this is even a different game. It's almost like a prequel to what actually happens as the events in Marvel Zombies. So you actually have a reason to pick it up. And it also gives you hero cards. Like, it's so strange to me that the partnership didn't seem to bring any value beyond the fact that it's almost like Spotter's making this, doing their own thing, and Lucky Duck is just distributing it and using their Kickstarter leverage. And crowdfunding leverage. That's about it.
Now, let's not poo-poo completely on this campaign, because they did take audience feedback. And after I had announced that we were going to do this episode, shortly after, they said, okay, we went to the Splotter people. We put our brains together. We're going to come up with something that's maybe not so atrocious. Spoiler alert, it's still atrocious. and they came out with the Deluxe Edition Pledge, which combines base game and the catch-up mechanic in one box. So all in one big, gigantic, huge cardboard-filled box for 270 Canadian.
No
179 euros. No miniatures. Took the miniatures out of the equation.
That is actually a fair value based on the price.
Based
Because
I think that's
of the
going to be
organizer.
both games. And now it's just got the upgraded artwork.
So now things have been upgraded. Instead of using miniatures, they're wooden. Which, okay, I can accept
Fair.
that. I like good, thick wooden bits. They have a nice tactile experience to them. They still have their nice linen finish upgrade boards, modular boards. They still have their nice linen finished cards and everything. They still have the organization tray. They still have the big maps. They're not dual layered maps tiles anymore. No, I noticed that, because they're not dual layered, which they didn't need to be dual layered before. Just putting that out there. And they got the nice new.
Still crazy expensive, but at least it's more on par with the original.
Well, it's actually not expensive because it's actually the same price right now. Plus shipping. It's $130 and $130 for both.
So this has the ketchup expansion, right?
This is going to have, and also look, you get the nice wooden bits that are, double-sided colored. You get all this. So you get the trays. You get all the.
This is good.
See, everything that you don't get is you just don't get the miniatures in this. And I'm just going to keep going down here. Keep going down. How come I don't see the catch-up mechanic in here?
That's what I was curious about.
The base game, it says the base game and the expansion with new artwork, deluxe tokens, and tabletop organizers.
I am very hesitant
miniatures.
because it doesn't say catch-up expansion, and I'm curious if they have any other types of expansions that are in
Yeah,
there.
let's take a look, because if that is both put together, that's actually the best
then it's
value for
fine.
the game.
By a long shot.
But if it's
yeah.
not, then
I just clicked on it again, but I don't know. It says base game and expansion.
Click on just the ketchup expansion, Ryan.
Oh,
Let's see.
yeah.
Let's see if we can piece it together.
I didn't know that I could do that. Where's
it's red, I think.
Add-ons. I can click on add-ons. I gotta refresh everything here again for some odd reason. There you go. Ketchup mechanic. The airplane miniatures, Roblox miniatures. Oh, okay. I think I saw something about Roblox. Rural area.
Okay.
Coffee shop.
Coffee shop.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we go back to this other thing. Well, yeah, these are just all the unlocks. Let's go back to this deluxe edition. And when I went down here,
They have coffee shops in
Wooden
there.
coffee shops.
okay, yeah, and wooden coffee shop. So there is the expansion.
Yeah, okay.
They just didn't do a very good job of just actually outlining that in here.
So that
There's
one-
the rural,
It's because
the
they don't
rural
want people
area.
to realize the ketchup expansion is in there and switch. It's marketing. It's because if they said that this was it with the ketchup expansion, then they're going to hurt their retail sales, because this is the best version of the game that you can buy.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is by a mile your best money right here.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
You get all the fancy new art, you get all the good looking bits, and you don't need the plastic houses.
If you're backing at Collector's Pledge, even if you're doing it with stretch pay, you've got too much money, and you just want to be a show off.
Take that money.
Or you play the
go
game
get
all the time.
Yeah.
Nemesis.
For
If
sure.
this is your game and you want to spend that much on it, fine. I'm not going to say anything.
But he's not in the chat tonight. Alex McKenzie from Meeple and the Moose, going to give him a shout out here. Food Chain Magnate is his absolute 100% number one game of all time. I was messaging with him right before the campaign went live. I said, are you going to ditch your old edition and upgrade it to this one since it's your new fancy edition? And he hummed and hawed. He says, I'm going to take a look at what the price is. Saw the price. He's like, I'm going to keep my crappy old edition because of the nostalgia value. It's my number one game of all time. Of course, I would like a super fancy edition of it. I'm never going to pay that much.
Good.
Alex, good for you.
Yep, you made the right choice.
I mean, it's how much, even if it's your favorite game of all time, how often do you play it? Like,
I bet you if it's your
450?
favorite pet game of all time, I bet you're playing it a much more than the average Joe Schmo gamer.
Yeah.
That is true, but I mean, we've spent more on miniature games than. At least we get all the stuff.
So
Well, you're getting all the
Holy
stuff
Grail,
here too, but
like,
you don't
I
need
spend too
need
much
that
on
stuff.
you, but I at least probably have about 30 to 40 hours in there already.
so
yeah,
that is
no way that collector's pledge is worth that.
It's just too bad
That's insane.
because this game is good and
It's
it
very
would,
good.
Yeah, it
It's
would be
fun.
nice if it could get to more
However, I
people.
will say, sorry to cut
No,
you
go
off.
ahead.
I played this several times when it first came out, and just with the base game, and it's ruthless, and you can get left behind like almost immediately if you screw up early in the game. That's where the catch-up mechanic came from, and that changed the game for me entirely. So I used to like really not like the game because one mixed up and you were done for. And I used to play against guys that played it a lot more than I did, and they knew like the ins and outs of it, and I would always get left behind and squashed. But then as soon as they introduced the catch-up mechanic, it changed the game entirely for me. So like I would never play this game ever again without the catch-up mechanic.
Kind of like
So-
terraforming Mars and Prelude, as everyone says.
Yeah.
Yes, but this is way more like I would play Terraforming Mars without the prelude way before I play this without the catch-up. This one is, for me, it's like a
You heard it here first,
non-starter.
folks. You heard
Yeah,
it here first.
seriously, it's brutal. It's a really
Well,
brutal game.
and I think that's why I don't think they're like just having the two together. You kind of need them.
You need them. You do
Yeah.
need them for unless this is your game and this is all you play and you know everything about it in and out, and but like if you're casually playing this game, you need the catch-up mechanic or you may have a very bad night.
You're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, seriously. There's 2 or 3 times where I just sat there like I was 2 turns in and I knew I was already done.
So also notice something, Ryan. Go up to the deluxe edition. I think I kind of just figured this out.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He did the
No,
math.
no, not the math.
Oh,
Open it up again.
And then where am I going?
Just scroll down. You'll notice nowhere on the deluxe edition does it say the one time only, not going to retail version of the game. My guess is the reason why this is out at this price, this is the new version of Food Chain Magnate, or was going to be. They were going to run this with just the other one, and they were getting crucified for it. So they're planning, this was going to probably be announced sometime afterward as check out the new deluxe edition you can get, and now it's on Kickstarter.
Oh, so like all the other stuff is not going to retail, but this one might.
Exactly.
This one will.
You're not going to spend that much money revamping the whole thing. This is the new version of the game. They're putting both things together, making it easy. As Rob's saying, like, it's such a key part of the game.
It is.
Why not just sell it together? And it's going to make their lives easier when it comes to printing.
And Jason's thoughts and opinions do not reflect those of Lucky Duck Games and Splotter Games. It's all hearsay, but that would actually make 100% sense.
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
Because it doesn't, there's nothing on it. All the other stuff is like one time only, one time only, one time only.
Yeah,
if
right.
that's the case, that's very disappointing to me. To have that sneaky, because I call that
was
sneaky.
a rumor. That was a rumor that people had said they had actually had this. That there's no way that they just came up with like that. They came up with this idea.
But then they should be like, they should be labeling it retail version. You know, like I don't like that because that's that makes me angry if that's what it is. If that's what it is.
Well, it's the deluxe edition. That's what it is. It's Food Chain Magnate Deluxe Edition, and that's what they're gonna sell.
Yep.
And it's not special. It's just deluxe.
That's right.
It's
not
deluxe
special.
Better than special.
And you notice the box with the special edition. It says special edition on it. There's no way they just came up with a deluxe edition, had packaging and everything ready.
Yeah,
that stuff takes time to design. There's no like, how long is this campaign?
I know there's 3 days left in it.
Yeah, it was 20 days or something.
Yeah, it was something like that.
You don't redesign an insert and stuff halfway through a campaign and put out with new artwork and this, that, and the other thing and put it out and are ready to sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're bang on.
Well, unless if it's not ready, because they can just come up they just mocked it all up, and then they're gonna have to change the whole thing's post campaign because like, ooh, wait a minute, we can't fit it all in one box, or this box is gonna be absolutely like Descent Gigantuan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because right now the special edition is 2 boxes of stuff. There's the Food Chain and then the expansion, but then they're touting that deluxe edition is everything all in one bit. Why is this?
I mean, I will say that will look cool on the table.
Sure,
like no doubt, having all those little houses and the stuff like that's gonna look really nice on the table, and it's
just like the Castles of Burgundy would look really cool with all those miniatures for all the buildings and the ships and the animals. But that was excess completely.
Super
complete. Yeah.
Well, why don't we take a quick look at Castles of Burgundy, and I think then we'll probably be able to start finalizing our thoughts.
Can I still look that up on GameFound?
You can still look it up on GameFound. I'm looking at it right now.
Castles of Burgundy Special Edition, like right there. Only on GameFound, €95. It wasn't only on GameFound, by the way, but special edition gameplay.
Only crowdfunding on GameFound. I'm telling you, forget Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah. And what am I looking at? This like Royal Pledge? No. Majestic Pledge?
Yeah, click on the Majestic Pledge and look.
Yeah, because that's the one that one had all of the miniatures.
But that one has Sundrop too, so it's going to be more expensive than the one that doesn't have Sundrop.
Yeah.
$280 of Sundrop to make the miniatures look unbelievable.
But this was the excess here. That terrain pack.
Yeah,
that looks real pretty though.
Really textiles.
But see that I'm just gonna point out a difference. Having that where you've got like the green grass and the little animals on it that are colored and painted and all of that. Like if it comes like that.
Oh yeah, it does. It does. I've seen it.
Yeah, that's better than here's a little pink plastic house or a little yellow plastic, restaurant.
But this boat is blue and it's all blue.
Yeah. And it's Sundrop. But don't forget this is the Sundrop.
Yeah.
Sundrop, the playmat.
Yeah.
Player mat. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I just thought it was also redundant that if you're gonna get this whole big thing, that you did not need the miniatures and the acrylics.
It's so
kidding.
true.
Yep.
You don't need
They
miniatures.
they were
acrylics.
redundant a little
Yeah.
bit, but anywho, yes, Castles of Burgundy was also a very big thing. If you decided you wanted to get everything, it's actually cheaper.
Yes, but it's still
Cheaper.
less than Food Chain Magnet, and probably has more miniatures than Food Chain Magnet. And you
better
can get it upgraded for a much reasonable price too. As you saw, the original cost is $95.
Yeah, because
Like even imagine what that would be without Sundrop, right? It would be even less.
$260, I think.
Yeah.
So that was the Castles
there
of
you go.
Burgundy special edition. I am gonna have to go back to the game found.
And it raised $8 million versus
1.4 or
It's
something.
like only 1.4 right now, Canadian.
Yeah.
But and then
so far,
Nemesis.
they're
everything
also-
Awakened Realms has done has been almost like
Yeah.
5 times more successful.
But they're only doing they do the small print runs, right? So they do this, but they're only planning on what 4,000 or 5,000 games that they're printing
Yeah.
or
These
something
guys are
like that.
printing 30,000.
Well, yeah, it's got 10 days left, and we all know that crowdfunding campaigns, they're big. One of the big influxes is that final 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
That final 24 hours when I realized that Mr. Rau is going to be FOMOing for all of this Nemesis stuff in this
Oh,
trilogy.
Ryan, did you get it yet?
In this trilogy pledge.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I tell you
But I
right
can
now,
stretch, but I can
if I had
stretch pay it
nothing,
for $70 a month. That's it.
$70 a month.
$70 a month.
Man,
I could stretch pay that.
Yeah.
Huh.
it's
That's not
so
bad.
worth it. It's such a great game.
I was also been analyzing my space around me.
Don't do that. Don't
Get
do
rid
that.
of other stuff. Put this top shelf.
If you analyze the space, game over. Right? Don't do that.
So we're looking at pure value per value comparison of the two projects. Nemesis Trilogy getting you 3. Don't Vincent says don't listen to them, Ryan. But
Quiet,
pure
Vincent.
value wise, you're getting 3 huge games with tons of replayability across all of this
Magnificent
stuff.
Games.
And all of that high quality alien sci-fi miniature goodness at just a little bit more than that whatever Food Chain
Less than $30 difference.
Unmagnate. Whoops, not deluxe edition, special collector's edition, $450. We're like $20 difference, $25 difference.
That's wild to me. Absolutely wild.
Yeah. That's bonkers.
They're
Vincent's
both
asking,
fantastic.
what's the average game time for a Nemesis game? 3 hours?
We did 2 to 3. Yep. Yep.
Okay, 2. He says for 3 or 4 players.
Yeah. Probably well, for a first player, probably an hour per person.
Yeah. Okay.
But once you kind of get the hang of how it works.
And
it's-
Tyler here is saying relatability. I'm thinking he's probably meant to type replayability. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Is a huge selling point for me. Probably why he plays about 90% of his games.
Well,
So-
Yeah.
Nemesis, you could finish playing and just reset and play again.
And just keep going.
And again and again. And every time it's going to be different.
I want it.
Yeah. It's so good.
I want it.
I don't think you're going to be disappointed, Ryan. I mean, I was just looking around I've been avoiding Gamebound for a while. I just found that there's an upgrade for one of the games I got, Stars of Icarios, and I'm like, oh, I should get this upgrade. The upgrade's $100.
Ooh.
I'm like, dang. Like, for a little bit more, you're getting all of the stuff.
Stars of Icarios, Space Gloomhaven. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what it is. It's
Yes.
Gloomhaven
However,
in space.
there's apparently been some issues, and they need an update kit. So the update kit's $100. An update and expansion.
Wow.
I didn't even know that the update and expansion was out. But
That's from a group of Kelowna Kelowna guys that made that game,
I don't think it's them anymore.
or was the original anyway. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
really?
now open. Oh no,
Yeah.
they're in Kelowna. Yeah, sorry, but they changed their name to Open Owl Studios.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Huh. Okay.
So yes, but I didn't even realize. So I hadn't actually pledged it yet. I've now followed the campaign, and I will most likely be pledging it because I would like to finish Stars of Icarios. It's Space Gloomhaven is like my jam,
Yep.
but it's still $100, and you're getting a lot less stuff.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
So are we ready to put the gavel down on excess or value? Nemesis
We need to put the
trilogy
gavel
pledge.
down. I mean, it's kind of obvious.
Ne-
Like, look, okay, like we know when you're in fast food, like the whole thing is, would you like fries with that? Always the upsell, always the upsell. Get the extra item. That's what you got to do. I'm sorry, man. I didn't ask for like a freaking car payment, like with my fries. Okay, that's what you're doing right now. It's like, would you like another game with that? Yes, I would, and not yours. I'm just gonna get 2 different games, maybe 3. Or if I'm buying retail, like at Target, maybe like 20, and I'm good. I'm good.
Vincent is on the edge of his seat right now, he says, because are we going to see someone pledge something live? And
Ryan.
he's hinting at me. I don't
You
know,
know
if
you
I,
want to.
I don't know if I can do it live. I still got 10 days. But even after 10 days,
Ryan,
10 days,
remember, no interest free.
stop saying that. That's bad. Bad Jayson. Bad.
Okay, so
bad
how
Jayson.
much does a Tim Hortons cost a day?
That is bad Christmas spirit right now.
It's Merry Christmas, Ryan. That's what this is.
So here it is. Here's my thing. Because I can most likely go to my local game store, Amazing Stories. Hey, Jeff, Nemesis is on GameFound. 10 days left. Are you going to bring some of these in? And if you do, set some aside for me.
Yeah. Well,
And
if
then I
that's
don't
an
have-
If
option.
he's doing it, then you're still getting it.
yeah.
Win-win.
Which he usually does. Or if he doesn't, then the other local game store about 5 blocks away most likely will.
There
Okay.
you go.
So I have options locally around me, and therefore I'm usually saving on the shipping by doing it through your local game store or 401 games. If neither of them, 401 games always ends up bringing in like these full pledge levels. And then I still get free shipping because I'm over their whatever their $175 buy amount. And then,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to do it that way.
That's good because I was gonna say at this point, for the price of a double a day, you could get Nemesis.
But I don't do
love
that.
it.
I brew my own coffee at home.
Okay, so for the price of only like 10 Starbucks a month, because everyone gets that's the craziness. One Starbucks is now like $7.
I think I blew
That's
Vincent
true.
with my description. I think I blew Vincent's mind. He says, that's actually pretty genius, Ryan, my rationale. It's true because I've seen like lots of local game stores starting to do this. They'll bring these things in.
Yeah.
And what they sell them on the shelves for is usually about that pledge price, but it doesn't include the shipping amount.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit more than this pledge
Yeah, it's
amount.
usually a bit
But
more,
less than the shipping.
But it's less than the shipping.
Yeah. If I'm gonna get Zombicide Deceased, it will definitely be through someone bringing it in because I don't see myself getting it. I've got White Death, got
401
Marvel.
does all those big pledges, those all-in pledges. 401 does them all.
Yep.
And
they do.
Vincent asked, how many avocado toasts is that, Jayson?
Avocado toast. All right. Are we talking a Canadian avocado toast, a U.S. avocado toast? It depends on where you're going.
Cool.
Oh.
Too much.
I
Well,
can tell
let's
you
say
that
it's probably
we
about
are
20 bucks.
getting that collector's pledge for sure.
You're doing
So-
collector's pledge?
Yep.
So let's say 3.5 avocado toasts a month. You're going $20 for an avocado toast. That's 3.5 avocado toast a month. So stay home and put margarine on your bread. And you've got Nemesis Retaliation.
Oh my gosh.
It's that simple.
That's simple. Yeah, because even some of these things that are really, really nice and stuff like that, saying the collector's pledge, like a lot of these things don't come inside of that trilogy pledge, right? Like the acrylic pack,
no, they're
the
extras.
play mats. Yeah.
Yep.
I would have to actually go if I wanted anything.
I think you get untold stories. I think you get the stretch goals and the untold stories. And truth be told, you really don't need the playmats. I'm a playmat guy, but you really don't need them.
Right. You don't need them.
Do we have the playmat? We don't have it for no.
We're going to have it for this one, though.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Just because it doesn't make sense not to.
No, for sure. You basically get it.
You
for free,
definitely
like,
want untold stories, though. Space Cats don't get. Alien Kings are completely forgettable. Stay away from those. They just replaced the queens with kings, and the Space Cats are just Space Cats with no gameplay value.
Cats in space.
Yeah.
Oh, but that trilogy also did. But that trilogy didn't have the Carnomorphs.
No, did not have the Carnomorphs or the Medic, which you have to pay extra for.
I have enough characters to play with already.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, but what's $13 more? Can I stretch pay that?
Yes, you can.
Of course you can. Okay.
Hey, that's how we got Chronicles of Trunagor. I put it on the stretch pay. Otherwise, that was not going to happen.
That was like $900, wasn't it, or something like that?
No, 5 something.
Was it 5?
But with all the 3D terrain and I got everything. It got everything.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Folks, this is real live junkie talk right now.
Yeah.
What you're witnessing. All right. Well,
But I've been very good. This is like the first thing I've backed in a while. And unfortunately, because I saw this, I'm not going to get Stars of Icarus, but I think I've backed 3 games in the last 6 months. Well, the other thing, yes, it was Dice Throne. Marvel Dice Throne with the co-op. Considering the fact that Julie loves Dice Throne, my brother loves Dice Throne, everyone in the family loves Dice Throne. When they were like, Marvel Missions co-op, I was like, I'm screwed. Just take my money.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, we haven't backed much at all in the last 6 months.
Because Marvel Dice Throne is awesome.
Yes.
Dice Throne is awesome. And having Marvel Dice Throne co-op is just like... And then I got to get all the other deluxe bits to deluxify my original. So
Perfect.
Okay. Catching up with the chat here and everything. Ian's in the chat. He said, did I miss the talk about Food Chain Magnate? Yes.
Oh,
you have to rewind. Rewind. Be kind.
We gave it a good lashing.
We did give it a good lashing. Ian, go look at the price of Food Chain Magnate Special Edition. You're going to puke.
The only thing we're curious about is the deluxe edition. The deluxe edition is not bad.
Not bad price-wise.
But we think it's coming to retail.
Yep.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we have somebody in training for Kickstarter or crowdfunding excess or value. Tyler says he's backed 8 games in the past 6 months. Wish I could say the same.
Yeah.
We used to back 8 games a month.
We used to do one of these a week almost.
Yeah,
We were like one every 2 weeks minimum.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Vincent's asking us any spoilers about the next games you are going to talk about. The thing about this show is that it's very fluid. We just usually kind of have our little text chat, and we're like, did you see this on crowdfunding? And some of us will say yes, no, and then Jayson will be like, we need to talk about it.
No.
and then we would actually just realize how busy we were, and would never talk about it. So
that's what happened with a couple of other games. So if there's anything that anyone wants us to talk about, let us know. Send it to us. I was fairly certain we were going to talk Deceased, and then that game just kind of went like,
yeah.
I was like, okay, let's see what's going to happen. When they announced there's no hero mode, I was like, yeah, this game's toast. Forget it. Not even a point of talking about it. I wanted to talk Marvel Dice Throne, and then I was like, what? This is like a short-ass campaign. We're not going to get a chance to talk about it.
Roxley's been doing that. They have a very tight turnaround on their campaigns lately.
I think the pledge manager just opened. It's crazy.
Tyler just said, though the games that he backed were nowhere near the cost of Nemesis / Food Chain Magnate levels of things. Fair. Stay with those small campaigns.
Yeah.
And then you
So
work your
it's
way
fun.
up. Yeah, it's like
That
weight
would-
training. It's weight training. You
But
got
that
to
way
pledge
you
Our
the
can-
problem was we were backing like 2 of these a month.
A
Yeah.
month. Yeah.
No,
Maybe
We
not
back
the whole
Rob.
thing, but
Rob was backing like 8 of these a month.
Yeah, it was bad. They're all starting to show up now, so it's like it sucked at the time. It's great now. Like as they show up, it's just like presents from the past.
Right?
Yeah, it's
Right.
great.
That's a good thing with backing like 8 games that are at a lesser price point, because then you get all the fun stuff in the mail and it hasn't broken your bank. But
Ian was just chiming in here saying, he says the plastic pieces do just seem out of place.
yeah,
And I think we were saying that we said the exact same thing.
yeah.
And
Exact
I
same thing.
fully believe that this artwork is better.
I like this artwork.
This
better,
old
for
school 50s diner artwork, I really think is better.
Sure. Yeah.
the one thing I'll say is I like the newer artwork better because I think it's more appealing on a shelf. I think if you know what
Yeah.
you're getting into, that 50s artwork is better overall. But
Yeah,
I
it
like
takes-
how the new deluxe version with the wooden pieces, I like how all that 50s art is on the diners and everything. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get why they updated the face just so that people are like, ooh, what is this? I'm going to pick it up.
Yeah.
Because just that round circle, a lot of people are going to be like,
And it's so funny, Jayson, because that is the only reason I looked at that game in the first place. Like all those years ago, I was like, "What is this? This looks fun. I love this style."
Yeah, the opposite effect,
and
right?
and
Yes.
but I mean, the new artwork I think looks good too.
It does,
It's
but I
not-
love what they went with
Yeah.
keeping everything about it was old school 50s everything. Like the player aids are like fold out burger pamphlets that you'd find on your table at the diner, that type of thing. It's cool.
Yeah.
Love
But
it.
yeah, I get why they updated the art,
For
but
sure.
I prefer the
Yeah.
old art.
But I think you're right, Rob. I think the 50s aesthetic is the key part of the game. And you saw it in all those deluxe bits that you saw in the deluxe edition. I just get why they want someone to actually pick it up off the shelf.
Yeah,
Because
totally, yeah.
because I remember this game going like poof. And then there was all of a sudden a reprint. And then it was available everywhere for a period of time. And then this never got reprinted. I just remember that it was like out of stock, the hottest thing. And then the reprint came out, and then I kept seeing like Food Chain Magnate on sale, on sale, on sale, on sale, because people just wanted the stuff off their shelves.
Yeah.
Vincent's got a question because he's not been with us since the very beginning of Excess or Value. He says, what is the price point where you start looking into a game more before automatically pledging for something? Do we actually even have a price point?
I have like a number in my head but I think it varies.
I think it depends on the type of game it is.
Yeah, it depends on type of game. It depends on who made it, who published it. Like I could, I know Awakened Realms games are all crazy expensive. I mean, well, this is actually pretty reasonable, but
you know what you're getting.
But I
from
know
them
the
too.
quality and I know how much goes into every single one of the games that they put out. So I'm generally okay with a high price point for something from Awakened Realms versus
something from
else,
like
but-
Earthborn Rangers.
yeah, Earthborn Rangers, a first-time company, right? Making a first-time game with promises out the wazoo that I know they're probably not going to be able to
They
keep
weren't
for a
promises.
huge price point.
This is what they were going for. They were trying to
Yes,
do it.
yes.
It was their first
I
attempt.
think
That's the
it's
difference.
But yeah.
I think it's
Typically, I
$100. I would say probably $100 is where like I think all of us here. It's an Awakened Realms game. It looks good enough. We'll probably just like back it for $100.
For
It's,
sure.
it's an expansion or an add-on to something we already have. $100, click, fine, whatever.
For sure.
I think when you get over 100, that's the moment
Good thing.
you start asking questions.
Yeah.
Wrong. You all missed the opportunity to say $69.
No. Yeah.
Our general rule of thumb previously has been to keep the show family friendly.
Yes.
But this is live, so
Yes. Everybody. But I'm getting a few chuckles in the chat about that one, so that's all good. Tyler, I think, is in agreement. He says, I'd say anything over $100. And I think Ian just looked at the price of Food Shake Magnate Special Edition, and he's gasping.
He fell out of his chair. Yeah.
I think he fell out of
breathe,
his chair.
deep breath.
Yeah.
Breathe in, breathe out.
gonna be
And know
okay.
that you already own Food Chain Magnate, and you do not need to do anything with it.
Yeah.
You do not
The
need to do
gameplay
anything.
had. That's another thing. They said on that page, like so many times, the gameplay has not changed.
Nope.
The gameplay has
Nothing
not
new.
changed. The game is exactly the same. They've only added the aesthetics. They've changed the aesthetics and they've added those miniatures.
And all they did was squash everybody's hopes and dreams because everybody thought that this was going to be a much more affordable version because they were having the Lucky Duck Games brand on it, and they thought that that was actually going to lower the price point and make it more widely available. And that didn't happen.
And they did zero
Yeah.
To that.
Yep.
All right. Well, ladies and gents, I think that's a pretty good episode for us tonight.
I think so.
Right around that hour mark, which is good.
I think it looks like 1 hour, 20 minutes by my actual counting. So
all right, cool.
That's pretty darn good. And thank you, everybody, for joining us for our very first live edition of Excess or Value. Yeah, if you have any comments or if there's any crowdfunding campaigns that are piquing your interest that may want to appear on this show, send us messages. I'll give everybody a chance to plug their channels again. You can message me on my social medias. I'm very active on Blue Sky as of moment. And if you want to be on Blue Sky, I have a bazillion invite codes because I abandoned the dumpster fire that was the platform formerly known as Twitter. And yeah, I have a bunch of invite codes. Just send me a message at misterraugaming@gmail.com and I will hook you up with those.
I'll ask you, Ryan. I'll ask you. Like, what the hell is this? We're talking about like DMX, like we're back in the 90s. I'll ask you, bro.
Degeneration X. You know, stuff was going to go down in the 90s or the early 2000s when that music popped. Oh my gosh, really showing our age here now.
Oh yeah, man.
All right. Okay, everybody, here's your chance. Plug your stuff. Let's go with Meeple Dungeon.
Okay. This is again, this has been Robb
Anna-Marie
from the Meeple Dungeon out here in Kelowna, BC. We are currently still on the X app. Haven't taken that Blue Sky plunge yet, but we'll probably look at that in the near future.
It's pumping.
But
he'll
also,
look at it.
It's bumping.
it's bumping. Is it? And then on YouTube, we just have an
At
unboxing
Meeple
video.
Dungeon.
No, that YouTube is just the Meeple.
No,
Dungeon.
but before you didn't
I
say
think
it
I
was
did.
X.
At Meeple Dungeon. YouTube, we have an unboxing video of Last Light on there, and we just dropped a new episode on the Meeple Dungeon podcast reviewing Last Light and talking. Actually, we talked about Nemesis Retaliation on there a little bit as well. So check that out. That'd be great.
Correct. And you can find me and my better half Julie on Dice and Dragons on YouTube. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or X. Like, we're not really using much of the social media feeds as of late. We were doing a lot of stuff on it, but it takes a lot of work promoting stuff on social media. And you can expect to see our review for Epic 7 Arise. That'll be coming probably in the next couple of weeks. We just got to find some time to film it. We're going to try to get some stuff out before the end of the year. And if you do like our content, we are going to be trying to get back to regularly scheduled programming come sometime in 2024. What's that going to look like? I don't know, but we're kind of taking a break. We went 5 years plus without missing a week on a video.
Wow.
And then it's just been this year that it's been tricky. So we went almost 5 years without missing a beat. So
Be insane, man. You're insane, but not as insane as I am currently. But all right. Well, thank you. And everybody, I've been Ryan from Mista Rau's Gaming. And yeah, I think everything sounded out. No one was saying that anything was echoing. Last time I had a live stream, everybody was echoing in the background, but I think I fixed that little issue. If you want to follow some of my content, I played last month. I played all of the Pandemic system games on my channel. So I played Clone Wars, World of Warcraft, Fall of Rome, Iberia, Reign of Cthulhu, and the other one that I'm completely forgetting off the top of my head right now, Rising Tide. I played all of them. I released a video and I ranked them this time around.
What's the best one? So I've got World of Warcraft and Clone Wars. Which one should I play first?
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Clone Wars. Though
So good.
funny, spoiler alert, Clone Wars and World of Warcraft were 1-2 on my list.
Really?
Hey.
1-2 on my list. So you got the best ones, Jayson. You've got the best ones. And yeah, and then I'm doing playthroughs this upcoming Tuesday. I'm doing a live playthrough of Tesseract. Right back there.
Hey,
Ooh.
cool.
Tesseract, a brand new co-op game of deconstructing this alien cube made out of dice. And it's actually really, really interesting. I actually really enjoy it. Spoiler alert. I think that's it. Anybody else have any final thoughts?
No. We're
Thanks
all
for
good.
hosting us, Ryan. This
Thanks
was
for
fun.
hosting, dude.
Awesome. And we are getting lots of thanks in the chat and a lot of people saying, great to meet some new faces since they're pretty new to my community. So yes, go check out the Meeple Dungeon podcast. Definitely go check out Jason's and Julie's Dice and Dragons channel. There is lots of great stuff over on there, especially the back catalog. The back catalog is probably the golden years, if Jayson would maybe want to say. At the moment.
Yeah, man. Some of
We
those
have some
old
good stuff
episodes.
on there. Some of the last couple episodes that we had were pretty good, especially the one on Mythic Games.
Yes,
Yeah.
go check out the
Yeah.
old playlist.
Check that out.
Of excess or value, because we had some real fun. Was there even an episode that I got to swear on? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I
you were
think there
allowed
was,
to.
but I think that was the one where we were talking the two big space games, and we got a lot of negative feedback because we did not bow down to one of those space games. We were still like, it's still expensive. I forgot what they were.
Was that the
I
was that the
remember
Fractal
that.
Voidfall episode?
Yeah. Yes.
Voidfall Fractal, yes. We got a lot of hate on the fact that we were not like worshiping Fractal when we just said like, this seems pricey. Like, you don't know anything about the gameplay. And I'm like, of course I don't. It's not out yet.
That's awesome. All right, folks, we're going to call it an evening. So make sure you are dropping those. Oh my gosh, where's I don't have anything set up here. Like, comment, subscribe. That's all I got to say. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow all of these people on across their social medias and their platforms, and give them all those lovely, lovely bumps in those ever important numbers that we never pay attention to anyways. So have yourselves a great night. Have a good night, Tyler, Vincent, Ian. Looks like Kyle popped in on there just at one point in time there. Hi, Kyle. And I guess we'll just say Jason's fancy catchphrase.
All right.
Just, are you going to cue us up? This doesn't
I'll
feel
cue us
natural.
up. All right. And don't forget, keep
playing
playing
games.
games.
Nailed it first try. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye-bye.